So we've got Symphony of the Seas is the name of the ship, and it's launching at the end of March in 2018 out of Barcelona. And the ship will be the largest ship in the world. It will carry roughly 6,000 passengers and about 2,000 crew. And on it we have robotic bartenders. We've got the largest slide at sea.
This thing.
Yeah, you can see it on the image here. And behind it is an aqua theater where we have diving shows that the guests can enjoy at night. We actually have, while we're sailing, divers doing shows into the aqua theater. It is something special. In fact, we don't call the areas of the ship sections, we call them neighborhoods, because that's basically what they are. We have a boardwalk neighborhood. We have a central park where we have trees and plants growing, and it's feel like you're walking through Central Park in New York when you're on it. Then we have an entertainment hub with an ice skating rink on board, so you can go ice skating when you cross the Mediterranean. So that launches really at the beginning of this summer.
And what is this, bumper cars?
Yeah, bumper cars. So in Asia, we're also bringing the newest and best. And on our Ovation of the Seas, which is actually in Singapore next April, we have bumper cars. We've got a skydiving simulator. We have a surf simulator, and we've got an area on the back of the ship called 270, which is a 270-degree floor-to-ceiling windows where you can see the ocean. And at night, it turns into one giant LED screen and an entertainment hub where we do shows with giant robotic screens that you have to see it to believe it. I can't really bring it
God,
to
what they come up with. Well, what is currently the most popular Royal Caribbean cruise itinerary globally?
Yeah, despite all the great innovation that we have on the ships, destination is still the top of mind reason for why people book a cruise, and it has to be Alaska right now. Alaska is a great way to cruise. You get very up close to the glaciers when you're sailing through Alaska. There's a limitation on the number of ships because of the season. The season's quite short. It really starts middle of May and ends in early September because it's too cold the rest of the year. So there's only limited supply for Alaska, and so that's really an attractive itinerary. It's a hard-to-get item. We see that popular throughout the world.
Number two, Caribbean, I would guess?
Caribbean is always popular, particularly those looking to escape the winters of Europe and North America. And it's just a perfect destination for a cruise, year-round sun. And then Florida, having Miami, the largest cruise port in the world, it's very popular.
I'm finding a lot of my friends, so I guess it's mid to upmarket people, love the European Mediterranean cruises.
Yeah, so I would say for the premium brands, Europe, Mediterranean in the summer is very attractive, particularly the Greek Isles. So destinations like Santorini and Mykonos are very attractive, and sailing out of Venice is, I think, my top port.
Yeah, and Barcelona is the other stop.
And Barcelona is a very attractive port, and that's why we're bringing the largest cruise ship in the world there starting next year.
I can't imagine shore excursions when the Symphony stops somewhere with 6,000 passengers offloading and getting back within a matter of a few hours.
Actually, the technology is so good on managing embarkation, disembarkation today. We have wearable WOW bands, so people just scan that when they get on and off the ship. And we have the capacity in terms of buses and tours to meet the needs of that many people. It's actually check-in experience for our larger ships. You get on the ship and check in less than 15 minutes.
Wow. So the bags are separate, and the passengers.
Drop your bags when you get to the port. You meet somebody, check in, they take your picture, you walk right on, and your key is waiting for you in front of your room.
And Is there much difference between the demographics of the Asian cruise passenger versus, say, USA, Europe, and China?
The big trend we see in Asia, in particular Southeast Asia, is multi-generational families traveling together, where we see more bookings of 2 to 3 people traveling, or a family unit of mom and dad, say, and some kids in the US or Europe. Here we see, it's not rare to see uncles, aunts, grandparents, parents, and children all traveling together on a cruise. So we often see a booking of up to 8 people per booking, and that's a trend we see more in Asia than in other parts of the world.
Oh, travel agents must love it.
They do love it, and it's really heating up in terms of the awareness among travel agents about cruise, because it's a simple transaction in terms of you've got your food, your entertainment, your transportation, all in your
And
hotel,
a solid product.
in one product. Yeah.
You know they're going to come back happy.
Exactly. Yeah.
And what's planned for next year in Asia Pacific?
Next year, Asia Pacific is our biggest year ever out of Singapore. We'll have 76 sailings out of Singapore. Just 10 years ago, when we opened our office in Singapore, we had 6 sailings. So you can imagine how fast we've been growing. So we'll have the most variety in terms of number of cruises. We've already kicked off the season in September. That's the first time we've been in Singapore in September, and all the way through the end of June of 2018. And so we're practically here year-round now, and we have 3 different ships, including Ovation of the Seas, which is the largest ship in Asia with the bumper cars.
Oh, they must love that. Well, great. Thank you so much, Sean.
So much.